What's up, love gang? It's the girl trying to love, and I'm back at it again with another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how I did this flawless install period. I already know what to book on my beautiful client, so keep on watching to see how I did it. I did try some new methods, so make sure y'all pick up on some gems, and let's get into it. Okay?
It's such a blessing, girl. But I'm for the rest of my life. A blessing, girl. A blessing. Yeah, such a blessing, girl.
Straight into it, I'm beginning with a beige wig cap on her head. I did cut her ears out previously, but all you do is just make a hole by her ears where it says, and then pull the ears straight through. And now I'm taking some concealer that matches her skin. You can take concealer, powder, foundation, anything that blends in with your skin or your client's skin the best. You put that all over the cap, and after secure it, I'm using some Ghost Bond glue to just secure that down. And when you're applying this, you want to apply a little bit above the hairline just to ensure that the wig has a proper placing so that it does not rip out your or your client's edges when you're taking it out. Now, after it's dry, you're going to take your scissors and you cut as close to the scalp as possible without cutting yourself or your client. And you want to really, the key to this is really getting as close to the skin as possible. And honestly, a wig cap don't have to be perfect. Like, I've done installs without a ball cap or with the ball cap not even glued down, and it still look fine. So a wig cap is just something extra. Honestly, you can have a bomb install without your wig cap being super laid. Honestly, that's just my opinion, and it works for me. But yeah, so sometimes when you put the ball cap on, you realize that it's too far down. So I do go back in and I tend to go higher up and cut more of the ball cap off. Now I'm just cleaning the hairline with some rubbing alcohol because this will ensure that your install lasts as long as possible, and it will also help with the melt. Now I'm just fitting the wig onto her head. I did part it into a middle part previously, so when I'm placing it, I'm going to try to place it directly in the middle so that I don't have to pluck or part again when it's on her head. Now, as I was doing this, I was realizing that the ball cap was way too far up and the wig was a little bit too small, so I did have to go back in and cut some of the wig cap back further. So it's always okay to do that. Like, if you put the wig on, you feel like you see the ball cap too much, it's not gonna look good once you cut the lace and you install it. So therefore, you can go back in and cut the ball cap some more. So the main thing I did different with this install is that I cut the lace off prior to gluing it down. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I usually glue the wig down first and then I cut the cap after, but this time I did it the other way around. Now what you guys see me doing now is I'm just lifting up that ball cap a little bit to bring it back a little further because it was a little bit too far up, so I cut it back some more. And what you guys see me doing now is I'm just cutting in zigzag motions through the middle section first. Then I'm going to go to the side sections and do what I have to do. And honestly, you cut in a zigzag motion so that once it's cut off, you don't have really like just a straight blunt line in the front of your head because it's going to be more obvious. So you want to make the lines jagged to ensure that the lace is concealed as best as possible. Now also, when you're cutting the lace off, make sure you do not leave too much excess lace. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, definitely this works for me. The more lace I cut off and the more closely I get to the hairline with the lace, the more it looks like scalp for me. So what I like to do is I like to go as far back to where the hair starts, because once you have hair there, it will be less likely to see the lace. If you just have lace on it and no hair on it, then of course the lace is going to show even better. And I just want to point out that this is not an HD transparent lace or any of that. It's not always about the lace, it's about the methods that you use to do the install. Like, you can have a lace that's Swiss lace. Just because you see a lot of people using HD transparent laces now doesn't mean you have to buy those in order to have a good install. Yes, if you do spend the extra money and get an HD or transparent lace, it would look more natural and it would have an easier chance to be natural. But with a Swiss lace, you just have to put the extra work in, honestly. Like, you feel me? So don't ever think you gotta have an HD or transparent lace to have a good install, because that's not true at all. Now time to start gluing down. I did start using Ghost Bond, but I quickly realized like, yo, why am I using Ghost Bond? And then I ended up using my Godspeed. Oh my goodness, my Bolto. I don't know why I'm always saying Godspeed glued. Like, I'm always saying that, but I do spread it out on my fingers. Like, it's just easier that way for me, and my hands be sticky. But I always wipe it off after every layer, so it doesn't be that bad. And now you're gonna see me going in. Wait, no, I'm wiping off my hands right now. But after, you're gonna see me going in with my bowl told. It honestly doesn't make a difference. Like, both of them work fine for me. Just both, you can get a scalp like install with both of them. So it's all about preference. It's really no difference. I feel like it's just the same thing in two different bottles. But don't quote me though. So yeah, I'm just spreading it out with my hands. And also another key is to spread out the glue as much as possible. The glue can also contribute to why your lace doesn't look so scalp like either. Because if your glue is like bumpy and have clumps in it, and once it's like finished drying, it have like a whole bunch of like, it's just not like flat, then that can contribute to your install looking like trash. But not trash. I said trash. Not trash, but not looking as best as it could be. So the more you spread out the glue, the more likely you will have a scalp like install, right? And I'm using 3 layers, and this just assures that the lace stays on for a good amount of time, like 2 weeks or so, with good maintenance. But right now you see me using a razor to smoothen it out because my hands are getting too damn sticky. I gotta buy some popsicle sticks. I'm definitely gonna buy those. I don't know why I never, but I'm gonna buy some of those for sure. And before you guys see me like wiping off the lace because the glue got on it, don't worry if that happens, because at the end of the day, the glue gonna turn clear. So if it gets on the lace, just rub it off or do whatever you gotta do. It's not that big of a deal, and neither is it the end of the world. So after your 3 liquid layers, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just begin to glue the lace down. And what I do is I just pull it up, and I would just make sure that it's blended down with my comb. And you don't want to really smash it down too hard either. And it's all about the flick of the wrist, honestly. Like, this stick is so easy to me. I really don't even know how to explain it sometimes. Like, I just feel like everything is so self-explanatory and it looks so easy. But honestly, I'm aware that people, it takes a little longer for people to know to learn something, to get the down pack of things. But I'm telling y'all, once I really get it, you're gonna be like, oh my goodness, why was I really stressing out about this? And I didn't have to. It's really that simple. Just pull down, and you smoothen it out with your comb. Now, what I was doing for this part is that so I will put the lace a little bit above the glue, so that once it's glued down, I can always go back in and add more glue to stick down the very front pieces. But I hate to have an install and like I glue the lace down, and then in front of the lace there's like glue still there. Like, that really bothers me so much. And right now I'm making her hold the other side because this wig was a little bit too small. So I had to really make sure that she holds the other side, so when I glue the other side, it wouldn't come off. Now what you guys see me doing is I'm just going back in and I'm doing what I told you guys that I was doing. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue to secure the very front pieces. I'd rather have too little glue in the front than to have too much glue in the front, and I will have to struggle to try to glue it down. I mean, to try to get the glue off. I'm so sorry if I stutter a lot. Like, I actually stutter in real life, and it's just so annoying. So when I'm doing voice notes, I be trying so hard to say the right thing, but it don't be working out for me. I be saying mad dumb stuff sometimes. But yeah, that really, I don't know, that really bothers me when I'm like sitting down listening to my videos over. I be like, oh my god, why are you talking like that? But oh well, that's how I speak, and that's just how it is. Ain't no changing it. But yeah, I just went in with my razor real quick, and what I did was I just cut off some more of that excess lace because I feel like it was too lace over there. Now for this side, it was giving some trouble to stick down because once again, the wig was a little bit too small for her. So some you gotta really make sure you pick the right size with these factory made wigs, because sometimes they will come and they will be a little bit too small. So really pay attention to, like, when it asks you small, medium, or large, pay attention to those. But yeah, so in order to get it to stick down, I'm gonna glue it, and then after I'm gonna take some got to be glued spray and just spray that right on there and blow dry it, and that kept it secure for a little bit. But then I had to really lift it back up and glue the whole side over because it just wasn't staying, and I didn't want to have her leave and then it's just coming up. So I made sure that I did the extra steps I need to do in order to have it stick down so that it can last as long as it can last. But I didn't show that though because I just feel like it was gonna be way too repetitive. So that's what I did after this clip. It ended up not staying down anymore, so I really had to lift that whole side up, clean it with rubber alcohol, and then do it all over again. But that's besides the point. Nevertheless, it was still scalp, so it's okay. Right now, I'm taking out some of the baby hair. She wasn't sure what kind of baby hair she wanted, so I just did the baby hairs that I felt like was gonna look best on her, and it actually did look really, really, really cute. So honestly, what I'm doing, I'm just taking some sides, some hair out from the front on both sides, and I'm gonna do that to the other side as well. And then it's gonna just have two swoops in the front. And I really loved everything about this install. I loved the baby hairs. I loved the kind of baby hairs I gave her. It was just amazing for me. Like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But let me stop. So right now I'm cutting it down on my razor. Remember, the shorter your baby hairs are, the more natural it will look. I didn't cut it too short to begin with, but when I'm done and when it's all molded down, I did go back in and cut it a little bit shorter to make sure it doesn't look too dramatic and crazy. So what I'm gonna do on this side is I'm gonna cut it the same way I did the other side. Right now, I'm taking my Luster's Renutrients wax stick and just putting that all over the front of the hair, by the part, and all over that I would need to be flat. I even put some on the baby hairs as well because that just helps it that just helps it lay down some more before I go in with the mousse. And now what I'm doing is I'm putting out some from the back of the frontal and putting it over the tracks so that it can lay down in the back and cover the tracks, because you got to remember to do that when it's a factory made wig especially. Now I'm taking my hot comb and I'm hot combing that bad boy out. Hot combs are essentials. You need hot combs. You need hot combs. You need hot combs. But yes, I'm just hot combing everything, including the baby hairs. I'm not sure if I showed that part, but I did. Okay, yes, I did. I did hot comb the baby hairs down a little bit, but nothing too crazy because I didn't want to burn her anything, because it's really easy to do. It's really easy. It's just that easy to burn someone or yourself too. But yes, so now I'm spraying some got to be glued spray right on that lace, honey. This is honey. This is essential. And next, I'm also taking that Wig Dealer wax spray. I just did a collaboration with them, and I'm using this spray from now on because it's just that good. And now I'm gonna just tie that down with an elastic band, and I'm just sewing in the back of it right now. I remember in a couple of videos ago, people was asking me, what do you do to the back of the wig? What happens to the back of the wig? You just left the back of the wig like that. And sometimes I sew the back down, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what the client wants. You don't have to at all. You just really don't, because no one's gonna see in the back there. You're just not gonna see it, so it doesn't matter what you do in the back. But she wanted her wig glue down. So that's exactly what I did. I glued it down for her. But if you don't want to glue it down, that's fine. There's combs that comes in the back of your wig. You can just secure the comb in the back and go and leave it as that. So it ain't really nothing special to do in the back, honestly. It doesn't matter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you take that off, you're gonna see how laid that looks before you even put it under the dryer, and that's just how true it is. Okay, now time for the baby hairs, the most important part. For baby hairs, I'm using that Nairobi. No, this is not Nairobi. This is Lotta Body Mousse Honey. And I did baby hairs with mousse. Like, I've been wanting to do this. Been, been wanting to do this. Like, I really been wanting to do this. Like, ever since I started watching Erica J, I've been wanting to do baby hairs with mousse. And it's really not that hard either. Well, now that I got it, it's like, oh, yep, it's lit and it's up and it's stuck. Period. Nah, let me stop being a bird. But honestly, what you do for this, you just take the mousse. I put a lot in the middle so that it just, so I could just have when I need it, and I just use my hand and I just swoop it how it needs to be swooped, how I want it to be swooped. And it's really that easy. Now, one thing that really helps me is what I did before with the Gatsby glue, how I sprayed it down and then tied it down. So it's already laying down flat. So all you have to do with the moves is just swoop it. And that's one of the main things that I learned, because when I used to try to do it mousse before, I didn't used to do it like that. Like the baby hairs used to be sticking up. It used to be, I used to have to try even harder to get it to lay down, and I used to have to put a lot of mousse. But now that it was already kind of laying down because of what I did before, oh, it was so easy. And now I'm doing baby hairs with mousse now. It takes a little bit longer to finish an install because you have to put them under the dryer. But I'm telling you, the wait is worth it, guys. It's really worth it. It makes a big difference because I always used to use Gatsby glue gel. If you've been watching my videos, I always use that for the baby hairs. But now that I use mousse and I'm getting to use the mousse, it just looks way better. Oh my god. I'm really boasting about this right now because y'all don't know how long I've been wanting to do baby hairs with mousse on. For years, I've been trying it. Every time I try, my lace always lifted up. Like, oh my goodness. I cannot stress it enough. It always lifted up, but now it doesn't lift up at all. Like, it doesn't lift up not one single bit because it know better now. Like, getting soon, okay? And this is in real time too. So this, I'm saying all this to say, if you're struggling to do baby hairs with mousse, you're gonna get it one day just like me. Trust me. I know the struggle because my shit used to lift all the way up. Like, it was not staying down for nothing. It used to lift all the way up. But now it's just calm. Like, it just looks so good. And I love it. It makes a huge difference. But yes, all I'm doing, I'm just doing what I gotta do, swoop it how I wanna swoop it. It's all about your preference, but you also have to work quick too. This is in real time. I'm not sure if I said that already, but this is in real time, and I'm trying to move as quick as possible because once you keep staying long, it would start to lift up, I think. You want to move as quick as possible. Now when I'm done and I get everything how I like it, I'm just gonna put some more mousse on there to make sure that it hardens up a lot. And I also wanted to take a quick video. I'm gonna drop it right here. Period. Make sure I follow my Instagram. But yeah, so after I just put some more mousse on there to make sure that I just hardens and make sure that everything stays in place when I put it under the dryer. I'm also gonna do over here over a little bit because the mousse had dried up some, and I want to make sure that it hardens as much as possible because that's very important. You gotta make sure that it hardens. You want that baby boy to get hard in that dryer. So when you comb it out, it's still in place. Now what I'm doing, I'm just taking some wax strips and I'm putting that around. I did use two, so you don't really have to use two, but I used two just for like to make sure that it dries. I don't know why I used two, honestly. I just used two. Next, you're gonna sit on that dryer for like 15 minutes, make sure it's dry. And now, ladies and gentlemen, is the grand finale where you cut that wax strip off and you realize how wonderful your install looks because we are slayers on this side and we slay here and we slay our own hair, and that's just period. But yes, I'm just taking off the wax strip now, as you guys can see, obviously. No brainer, and okay, anytime Rashana, you go with mad slow, and it's in kind of fast motion, but it's only in like 2 times fast, and that's how it looks. Now, what you do is you just comb it out, and I'm gonna go back in and try to put more behind the tracks because I didn't part out enough the first time, and now I'm gonna just pluck it to make it look even more natural with the part. You don't have to do this, but it's just something extra to do if you wanna do it. Not mandatory, but you have to part some hair out to put it in the back, but it's not mandatory that you actually pluck a part to do. I was just being so extra, and it looks even better too. So do what you gotta do what you want to do, doesn't matter. Now I'm gonna put some more of that wax stick and got to be good gel, and then I'm gonna hot comb it out so that it can stay in place, and that's how you get a flat install. That's really the key. That's really, yo, I'm dropping gems on y'all right now, bro. That's really how you do it. And a lot of people like to hide that from you. And this is something I learned on my own too. So you gotta use that wax stick and that got spray. When you hot comb that, what? You're getting a flat install off rip. Like off rip, you're getting a flat install. And that's just it. You gotta just really take what you see and run with it. Like I'm telling y'all. But yes, this is something I figured out for myself. So I'm not even gonna lie. Like I didn't see that from nobody, but I'm sure people do it too. It's nothing really special. You know what I'm saying? But yes, you comb out them baby hairs, and I'm hot combing again. Same thing I did on the other side, but yes, like, oh, this install gave me so much life. Like, you ever sat and did something like as a hairstylist, bro? You really sit and you watch your improvement. You be like, yo, what, son? I really did that, and now I'm plucking the baby hair some more. But as I was saying, as a hairstylist, you really see your work and like, wow, yo, like, I really improved. And when you realize you improved, bro, it just feels so good. Cause like, yo, what, son? I really came from nothing. Like I'm not saying nothing in that way, but I'm saying like nothing as in like a hair perspective. Like my installs did not used to look this good, and now I'm just getting better, and it's only improvement up here. And as I said before, I did go in and cut it to make sure that it looks even more natural. Now I'm putting some Got to Be Good spray on my fingers, and I'm just gonna rub that on the top of the baby hairs to make sure that it stays in place. Because after you use mousse, the baby hairs are soft, but you want to just make sure that it just stays in place so that it doesn't get messed up easily. And what you're gonna be doing now is the I'm just spraying some of that Got to Be Good spray again in the front to make sure that it lays flat. Now I'm taking some concealer and putting that right directly in the front of the part. And this is Elegant Pro Concealer as per usual. Only concealer I really use because I'm cheap. But yes, so you put that in directly in the middle of the part. Next, I'm going to use some black spray, and she is holding a piece, a wrap in the front so that the black spray doesn't get on the lace. And then I'm going to just spray onto the part. And honestly, I don't really understand how to use this spray yet at all. Like, I made a mistake and accidentally sprayed some on the lace, but it didn't matter because I got to wipe it off instead. Wipe it off in time so that it doesn't stain the lacy, but I wiped it off in time. Good thing, good thing. Because if this would have messed up the install, I would have cried. Yo, just look at that. This looks flat, natural, all of that. Like, I'm telling y'all, the stuff I see in this video, really go and use it. Because, go and use it. Go and use it. Because it's going to help you out a lot. Let me stop. But, you guys, this is the finishing look. And it gave me so much life. Don't forget, if you're in the NYC area, you can book me, and the book information will be on my Instagram, which will be on the bottom of the screen. But I'm gonna just say it again, at russhana.love, RUSSHANA dot LOVE. And that's it, honey. That's all. That's it. That's all. That's period. Like, y'all know the vibe. Y'all know the vibe. Y'all know how I am coming. Also, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my social medias. Leave some video suggestions if you may. Whatever you guys want to see, I'll do it. And I'm going to see you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Period.